I keep trying to find ways to make this video, and I honestly think the best way would be to just jump in. Hello, doll people. It's been a year. In the last year, I have moved twice, both to a new state and then to a new apartment. And it's been crazy, to say the very least. I stopped making videos unintentionally, actually. It was my full intention to document the whole process of moving to a new state and actually taking my channel with me. Before I left for that whole year, I was actually starting to change the way I edit videos and make it more of like a vlog sort of a setting. That didn't happen. That didn't happen because in the move, lots of my collection got damaged. We moved on a weekend, and wouldn't you know it, the weekend that we decided to move to a whole new state, there was a massive hurricane and there was tons of rain. Some of the dolls were ruined in a way where before I could really display them, I needed to give them love. I needed to like work on them. And then lots of them just kind of got like banged up where they just kind of need like some tender love and care. So I've kind of been in this place for the past year where I've been more or less repairing my collection. Not all been humdrum around here, like there have been good things as well. During the process, I got a new doll room, which I'm still fixing up. I'm not gonna show you the full room, but I will show you this area that you're seeing right here at the end of the video. I really love it. This corner specifically is where I crochet and knit. Like all of my stuff is right here. And then this is like what I'm calling my cozy corner, because it's got all of the dolls in it that are like really dear to me. They're probably on the cozier side. Like there's something about them that makes me very comfortable and like they make me feel warm. Which brings me to this grand reconnection that I had with Barbie. I've been doing lots more thrift shopping like I used to do when I was younger, and I've actually been able to source many of the dolls I had as a child and some of the ones that I wanted as a child but never got. And I kept them in the box until I got here in this apartment and I was ready to really pop them out of the box, because no doll I get stays in the box. Really pop them out of the box, display them, do them some justice, give them some tender love and care, and just enjoy Barbie as the iconic fucking princess that I grew up with.
2,000 years later.
After placing the dolls over there, that's where they were, I kind of liked it, but then I felt like I'd like for my favorite Barbies to be on the same shelf, or at least in the same area. That brings us right here. These are boxes from other dolls that I've unboxed. I'm using it as kind of like a platform so that I could like put dolls across here and then have dolls in the front without their faces kind of being obstructed. I don't know how that's gonna work, but let's do it. So yeah, I reconnected with Barbie. It's not exactly practical to have all of my Barbie dolls on display. Like, my space is quite finite, so I can't display all of my Barbies. I love the idea of having them in a place where they're all like together in the one spot. There's something so delicious about the uniformity. So I've decided that I will display my Barbies, because before, in my last doll room, I didn't have any of the Barbies on display that much. It was maybe like 2 or 3, and I kept them all in like a drawer or something. But in this doll room, because I really think that this doll room's characteristic is just really cozy. I keep coming back to that adjective, but I can't find a better, maybe warm, fuzzy, safe. Anyway, having them out makes me happy, so that's what we've been doing. I've been reading. Yeah, it's an app on my iPad. It's Viz Manga. I decided to subscribe to Viz Manga. I do love manga, always have. Haven't really talked about it a whole lot. There are other parts of me that I don't bring to this channel. And you know, honestly, that was probably one of the #1 reasons why I had to stop making videos, just to kind of like recalibrate what the hell I'm doing. Because the whole point of me making this channel was to be able to connect with other doll people. But now I think I'd like to broaden it a little bit and just connect with people in general. Still doll people, maybe we can all connect around other topics and shit. So I started reading manga on this app. Love the app. It's real cheap and it's real good. And it also inspired me to start collecting physical copies of manga that I've read in the past, or in this particular case with this title, titles that I'd seen as anime and I always wanted to read the manga but couldn't get it. So yeah, that's where we are. And I started collecting Gravitation. Gravitation is a beautiful anime. It's a BL anime and it caught my attention when I was super young. Shuichi Shindo is hands down the wackiest, most lovable character to me, at least. I mean, Shuichi Shindo and Ron Kotobuki, the two of them from two separate worlds of anime and manga, absolutely love. But Gravitation came to me in a time where, as a little young gay boy that didn't really see like BL or boy love in my own society, it was the shit. It was the tits. I loved it. And I always wanted to read the manga, but I could not find the manga. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know where resources was at my fingertips. I just didn't know. So I never read it. So fast forward literally 15 years? Was it 15 years? Shit, no, it might have been something like 17 years. Shit, 17. Anyway, fast forward, I finally got them. I'm 2 volumes short of having the complete collection. They're not as hard to come by on the secondhand market because I believe this is out of print. Because I did check like Right Stuff and other like retailers and stuff to see if I can get it. It's out of print. So every last one of the volumes will be secondhand. They're pretty easy to come by, but I'm picky. Like, I don't mind some damage, but I'm picky. I'm a huge fan of Maki Murakami, and Gravitation is just one of my favorites. Like, the art in these books, it's gorgeous. So good. Yeah. So I guess I can now call myself an official manga collector. That is wild. So outside of reading, I've been, of course, crocheting. So in conjunction with constantly making hats, I swear I am addicted to making hats. I crocheted a bunch of smart doll stuff. You guys know I love my smart dolls. But I found this yarn right here. It is just the cutest stuff, and I don't know if you can actually see here, but there are like flecks of like blue and pinks, and then it's like this cream color. It's a gorgeous yarn. It's super squishy and soft. I love this stuff. I bought a ton of it, but I fell in love with it so much that I made pieces both for my smart doll, and I also made pieces for like Blythe and like smaller dolls. Like, look at this top. Look at this little top. It's so cute. It's so cute. One of my favorite things about this yarn is actually the stitch definition. Like, it really, I can take this yarn and do really intricate textured stitches because it just holds them so well. Like, look at the texture in that. Stunning. Just so cute. This is another top that I actually made for Blythe. And then I made this little sweater dress. Different yarn. It was a variegated yarn. Oh, it's being like washed out, but it's like yellow here at the bottom. And then the pinks and the greens. This was a variegated yarn, one of my favorite yarns. I believe this was Mani Pedi. Mani Pedi by Lion Brand, a discontinued brand. I still have tons of it in my stash because with it being discontinued, I will use it sparingly. Like, the pieces I make with it, I want to keep. So I made this little sweater dress for the curvy Barbie. Super cute. I love all these colors because they're so random. Like, when the colors show up, they're so random. Also, one of the things I was doing was trying to find a way to close the garment in the back without having to always use buttons or snaps, because some pieces I would like to layer, and sometimes like the thick buttons will get in the way and then it'll just look terrible, and then whatever I'm layering with won't layer right. So I started like corseting the back, where I would just like chain a really long cord and then corset the back. That way I could just like pull those, you know, the cord, slip it off the doll and put it on the doll the same way. So I was doing that. I also made this piece here, also with more Mani Pedi, sorry. It's a top that I actually had on a Fashion Royalty doll. And here you can see where I was experimenting a little bit with corseting the back. If it's a piece that I definitely intend on layering, it's good for having like that smooth back. And then you could just kind of like hide the cording behind the doll's leg or something. But it's not practical at all. Like, once that garment is on that doll, it's there for a minute. For a little minute, because taking it off it's hell. Like, getting it on the doll is easy. Taking it off, it's just like Before I actually changed Adele out of this top recently, like a couple days ago, I remember starting to undo the corset, and I was just thinking to myself, moving on. She's being like washed out so bad, but it's so cute on her. It's like the skimpiest shit in the world, but you know what? It's alright. It's okay. I did use a different yarn that I actually found. I think that the base of the yarn is the same, but the dye is just different. It's more of like a variegated situation. It's actually right there. Super cute. It's just as soft. It holds definition just as well. I do know that this is wool. It's like a type of wool. Not sure what kind of wool it is because I have lost the label in the move. It's okay. It's okay. This is the simplest little dress. It's super cute. I made it just a few days ago. I just wanted something simple, and I went back to my big old happy buttons in the back. That was always gonna come back. always, because it makes me happy. It's just not always doable on smaller dolls, but on them it's fine. Like, this doesn't bother me at all. And it's flat enough on the doll's body that popping a sweater over this or a jacket will be fine. I made so many more other garments with the same yarn. Some of them I sold. I sold a bunch of Smart Doll stuff because I was popping stuff out faster than I could make space to store it. So instead of storing it, I would just like make a bunch of stuff, and then just like do a hand make sale. And many of you bought from that sale, so thank you. But now that we're here and we're getting settled in this space, I'm slowing down a little bit. Still crocheting like it's going to go out of style, but I've also been enjoying other hobbies. I've been gaming, okay? I expressed to a good friend of mine that I've always been really weird about talking about video games with people. Video gaming didn't feel like a space that I was like allowed to enter publicly. I don't know. Every time you go on like YouTube or you go into a video game store, everything's marketed to men. Like everything, like it's a sausage party. I'm so sorry, but it's just a sausage party. Every time you go on YouTube, anywhere you go, everything video games seems to be marketed to men. And that made me uncomfortable. I do identify as a man. I am a man. I identify as a man. I am a cisgendered black man. That's not the problem. But for some reason, the space being so heavily dominated by men made me feel odd talking about it or inserting myself in the space. I can't say that I fully unpacked that because it still feels odd to me. However, I feel a little bit better talking about it now. This year I purchased a Nintendo Switch. I know, I'm like late to the party. But the Nintendo Switch has quite literally like reinvigorated my love of video games. Like, I'm a huge fan of Tomb Raider and always will be. And I got one of the RPGs that I loved as a kid back. I know it's in a PS2 case, but I actually had to like buy a PS2 case and like print off the label because the CD case it came in was wrecked. Game's good though. The disc is fine. But Threads of Fate, oh my god, I love this fucking game. Love it. And I got the disc out of principle. I've been having this whole thing about having physical, tangible items of the things I really love, like, surrounding me. So that's the reason I got it physically, because if I'm honest, and I do intend to be, I do have this emulated. I had the disc years ago. The disc did not belong to me, but I had a chance to rip the disc, and I used to emulate the game on like an old Android phone using PCXX. So, which that's a PlayStation 1 emulator. And so I had access to the game where I could play it, but I needed to get it physically. And I've actually been playing the physical disc on an old PlayStation 2. So, but you know what? That's gonna have to change. There are other ways that I can play this game and where I won't have to use my disc because I don't want to wreck it. I worry my acrylics will scratch the shit out of it, if I'm honest. I have been in a literal choke hold with Zelda Tears of the fucking Kingdom. Like, I swear, it is the best shit. It is the best shit in the fucking world. I swear. Like, there are days where I'm at work and I just kind of like glaze over and look in the distance and think to myself, Hyrule needs me and I'm here at fucking work. I'll have to show you guys my gaming setup once I get it all cute and stuff and finish decorating. I'm still working on it. Oh God, I'm so happy that I finally came back to this channel. I'm so happy to be making videos again. I do love making videos. You guys already know that. I'm excited to take you guys on this journey of setting up my new doll room, making more videos in the future, and I'm just happy to be back. Thank you guys for coming on that little journey. It was a bit rambly, a bit weird. It feels a bit weird being back in front of the camera. But this week's favorite comment is, thank you guys for actually still commenting. Like, this entire year that I haven't been making videos, you guys have been very vocal. People have been coming into my DMs on Instagram just like, girl, where you at? Are you dead? And I'm like, I'm not dead. I'm just living life and, you know, trying to get my shit together. Bye, y'all.